How I Became a Ghost, a Choctaw Trail of Tears story by Tingle. Chapter 17. Goodbye to my family. When I brought Joseph his supper that night, Nanehuma followed me. We sat in the shadows till Joseph finished eating. Nanehuma was waiting for the evening report.
"Did you see Naomi today?"
he asked. "Yes," Joseph said. "She stayed close to the wagon. A soldier gathered firewood and lit the fire. Naomi cooked the meals."
"Does she ever go to the woods, maybe to the creek to wash the dishes?"
Nanehuma asked. "No, never," said Joseph. "They brought a bucket of water from the creek for dishwashing. During the day she stays inside the wagon. She never walks with the others. After supper, she climbed in the wagon to sleep. I saw a soldier climb in after her. He had a rope. I'm sure she is tied up every night and released every morning."
"Is there a guard?"
Nanehuma asked. "Yes," Joseph said, "but he fell asleep sometime around midnight. The soldier that relieved him saw that he was sleeping. He kicked him awake and then laughed about it. They are not worried about us."
"And why should they worry?"
Nanehuma said.
"They have guns."
"I can sneak past the guard," Joseph said. "This will not be as hard or dangerous as we thought. I still have my sharp stone, good for cutting ropes." Nanehuma did not reply. Finally, he leaned in my direction.
"What do you say, young Isaac?"
I knew what I thought, but I didn't like disagreeing with my best friend.
"Go on,"
Nanehuma said. I knew we were thinking the same thing. "Well," I stammered, "I am worried about Naomi. If we try to rescue her, she might not want to go." "Why not?" Joseph asked. "She thinks Nita is alive," I said. "She is afraid of hurting her. She could scream and fight and wake the soldiers up." "Then I am one dead Choctaw," Joseph said. Nanehuma laughed softly.
"Between the two of you, I think Naomi will be fine. I am impressed, and let's meet again tomorrow night. Be very careful tomorrow. Joseph, you stay away from the soldiers' camp. We don't want to risk you being seen. Isaac, why don't you and Joseph walk backwards tomorrow?"
We laughed for the first time in days. "Why would we want to do that?" I asked. "It's a long enough walk without doing it backwards." "I think he means we should visit your folks tomorrow," said Joseph.
"Good thinking,"
Nanehuma said over his shoulder on his way back to camp.
"It's been a long day for everyone. Let's get some sleep."
I liked Nanehuma. He was a powerful and important Choctaw, but he still had a sense of humor. Joseph snuck into the camp long before sunrise. "Time to go," he whispered. I rolled up my blanket and put it in the back of the wagon. "What about breakfast?" I asked. "I need to start the fire." "Nanehuma will tell them where you are. Come on." I followed him to the river. We walked in the trees so no one would spot us. With Joseph in the lead, walking backwards was faster than I thought. After only an hour, we saw my family. I was so happy to see them. My mother and father looked strong, and Luke looked very bored. That's a good sign, I thought. That means there is no trouble. "There they are," I told Joseph. "But where's Jumper?" "Right behind you," Jumper said. I turned around and Jumper jumped in my arms. "What took you so long?" he said, licking my face with his sloppy, wet tongue. I lifted Jumper over my head. "Oh, I missed you, Jumper," I said, "but I did not miss your tongue." I set him on the ground and Jumper ran circles around us, barking. "Look at you," my father said. Joseph stayed in the shadows while I hugged my family, even Luke. "I'm glad to see you are safe," Luke said. "Are you here to stay?" my mother asked. "No, only for a short visit," I said. "I made friends with the Choctaw councilmen. I'm their helper." I had no way of knowing how short this visit would be. This was the last time I would ever see my family. At least, the last time the living me would see them. We stopped at noon, and Luke and I built a fire. We had pashofa just like before. It was the best bowl of corn soup I'd ever had. I told my family about Joseph and everything we'd seen and done. Where is Joseph? Luke asked. He is waiting by the river. I should bring him a bowl of soup. Let me do it, Luke said. I want to see him. Luke carried his blowgun in one hand and the bowl of pashofa in the other. I wished Joseph could join us, but I knew it wasn't safe. When Luke returned, the bowl was empty. I gave him my blowgun, Luke said. He's already making darts. I told him to take care of you. Joseph is a good friend. Maybe he can live with us when we reach our new home, my mother said. I held Jumper close to me and smiled. I knew my family would like Joseph. He was a strong Choctaw, one of us. The day went by too fast. Soon the sky streaked red and the sun dipped below the hills. I knew it was time to go. I knew I would soon say that word again and hear my family say it. Chapi Salah Chike. Choctaws never say goodbye. There is no word for it. We say, Chapi Salah Chike, which means, I will see you again in the future. Even though I was nearing the day when I would never see my family as a living person, I would never leave them. Choctaws never go away.